Good morning YouTube, just Paul again. On the bench this morning, a 23 channel SBE SIDEBANDER 4 came in, which I just recently purchased. Purchased it knowing it was not working. It's in reasonable condition. Pulled the covers off. There was no TX, no RX. Spent about an hour on the board looking at it. Once I understood there was actually a couple of issues here. It wasn't just due to one easy thing. We can see here by all the red marks the areas that I've concentrated on and done some repairs. Now this is a problem that I've come up against before in the area of the driver over here. This has been replaced. This is my red, by the way. I did all my tap test. I replaced a C710 transistor, which is the transistor which switches the sideband modes. And then I still couldn't get, I was getting intermittent transmit when I was pressing the board top and bottom. So I'd flip it, press it, flip it, press it, until I got TX. My travels took me across the board and over to here. So I desoldered this, and naturally there was a mountain. It was like this. And underneath this pin here, somebody's cut the transistor way too short. Underneath here, there was a track. Part of the track was missing. I should have filmed it, but the transistor was not even near this track. So you can see just here, there's about 3 mil missing, just in this area here. And here's the leg. So I undid the screw on the side, dropped the transistor down about 1.5 mil, repositioned the legs. The same here. So I had to put pressure on whilst soldering. The result was full TX on SSB and AM after that. Still wasn't getting audio, so I came up over here to the audio chip. This track was badly damaged. This one here. And again, this is the second time I've seen this. So I removed all the solder, cleaned the board, and removed the track coating, and then reflowed a proper electrical connection, as you can see there now. Okay, so it was actually cut. It was all, well, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't a proper connection. Now it's all reflowed, and I took it, it's probably about 10 mil long. Secondly, what I also find working on SBEs, people go straight to the audio chip and they remove it and then put them back in or replace them. That's hardly ever the problem. The problem's all over here with the transistor, the amplifier stage. So I removed all the solder again, mountains of solder here. Extended the sides of the tracks. So I've taken them from, just to give you an example, probably added another 2 mil, 3 mil to the track by removing the surface and resoldered. And you can see that I've done that and made a really neat job of it. The other thing that people do is they put these back in and the pins almost stick upwards, and they use solder as the bridge to the board. That's the example here on this one. So I rebent the pins and used pressure while soldering to make sure that the pins were close to the board. All right, so that gives you some idea of this SBE. I've done no cosmetic work. It's the channel selector light's out, and we'll turn it on. It's still got work needed on the audio. It's not it's not loud as what it should be, which I suspect this has got all the original caps in, and it's usually replacing the Elcos fixes that. All right, we're in AM. There we go, full 4 watts. I'm very happy with that. On SSB, it's got a full 20 watts PUP. Now it has got a faulty mode switch, so I'm just leaving it in AM at the moment. All right, there you go. It shows you how quick, I've been working on this for about, just 2 hours. And I'm very happy with the results. But it's, again, you gradually work through the board until you get audio coming through these. And you start off in big steps, and then when you hear something, you start narrowing it down and pushing on the board. And then what I did on this one was flip it over and did the reverse with my on the other side, and then I found the components that were giving problems. Okay, probably 70% of the issues with SBEs is dry joints. If you like, please comment and subscribe. I would appreciate that. At least then I know that I'm giving people some motivation to repair their own radios. Remember, you can do it. Cheers.